Hi.
Hi,
I,
Dolly. Did you
I,
say
I,
we can come over or
No,
not? Oh, okay. Doesn't
because
matter.
my miklat is only for the diarrhea and it's already full.
Problem. No problem.
wow, wow.
So I can't
Good.
invite you to come. And anyways, it's not responsible. I don't people who come from Zayed or everything. I don't want you to go running around.
No
We're
problem.
not supposed to have meetings.
Something. Definitely.
Who dads? A home friend says, no meetings, no meetings. No, you have to
Yep,
go by the
yep,
rules. Go by the rules. Yeah, I
right,
know. I
right.
know that people, I know, like Sandra asked me, Simcha asked me, well, why can't we come? I said, because you can't come. It's like, we need to follow the rules. There are no meetings. And my bomb shelter is not built big enough for another 4 or 5 people because there's not enough chairs. And I don't want to take it from the people, that live here. So that's the
Right.
way it is. That's the way it is. Sorry,
That
dears.
makes sense. Well, let's just
Mhm.
hope we don't have a siren
Like,
during our class.
that's right. We did last week, didn't we? How are you managing, Hannah and Tiferet?
Yeah, we wanted to be home for Shabbos, and we had a nice Shabbos, and we're getting used to using the miklat. It's one house away
Yeah.
and 15 stairs down, but Baruch Hashem, we're doing it. And
Okay.
I was telling Yitzhak that in the almost 14 years since we've been living here, I have never bonded so much with my neighbors as
I
now.
know. Isn't that amazing?
It's
Isn't
a
it
real
amazing?
bracha that, we socialize, and yeah, it's
Nahon.
very
It's
nice.
very
Plus,
nice. Nahon.
there's two cute babies, some kids, and two cute miniature dogs that people bring. So it's very Hamish.
I know. I know. We get to know your neighbors as well because we have a communal bomb shelter. We don't have my own mamad. When they built the houses in 86, 87, 89. The only part, the law was you had to have a bomb shelter, but not a mamad. There weren't mamads there. And there were only a mamad after 1992 or three that they had, every home had to have one. So if you build your house before that, you don't have a private mamad. So that's the issue. But now everybody does.
I thought,
how are you? Yeah.
isn't a mamad a bomb shelter?
No, a mamad is you have in your own home. It's a room that closes with a hermetic, like a bomb shelter, where it has a special door and has a special window. And now all houses that are built after the 1995s or something like that, every house in Israel has to have one. But before that, there were communal bomb shelters downstairs. In like we have six houses and a meduragim like going down, and so we have a bomb shelter, and it was like everybody used it as storage. We had our sukkot there, we had all kinds of old things, and we've had to get rid of all the stuff that's been there for 30 years because now we have to use it. Like a few times a night, and this it was sort of like was a little bit not nice, but that's what we had to do. And so, Adina, you're with us in this middle of this war. It's an amazing seeing all the miracles that's happening, blowing up nuclear plants, things. So
Yeah, that was incredible.
it really is incredible. It really is. But uh, I heard a joke last week was that I think Rav Shlomo Katz said it. He says, we're no planes going in and there's no planes going out. So why have all the people of Israel suffering from jet lag? Because we don't sleep. We get up at 2 or 3 times a night with this.
Oh, so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're getting used to it. Get used to it after we so it's hard when you have small kids. So it's like my grandchildren who live in a kibbutz. It's a communal one for about 50 people. So they're using it as their summer camp and they're having a grand time. They're having pajama party every night. They sleep there in the bomb shelter. So they don't have to go out and in all night. So they sleep and they're having great fun with their friends. They're having a great time. Anyways, except when a missile hits you, then it's not so much fun. Mm-hmm. So they do get through. So how are you doing, Simcha?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry I don't have a mamad. I have a bomb shelter, not enough room
No,
because
I
to have enough
understand.
room for
I know
everybody.
I understand. I was confused. I thought, well, if you have a Mamad, why can't we just, but if you have I totally get it. No problem.
Yeah,
I totally,
yeah. So
totally
that's
get it.
that's okay. That's okay. That's fine.
No problem.
No problem. That's what we have to sort of be flexible with the situation the way it is.
Yeah.
So okay. So good. So let's start, and we have lots to do, and I will start sharing. So I'm just going to record this where we are. Okay, okay, okay. So today I'm concentrating on two basic concepts: the Samach and Ein, which is Sifrei Kodesh, and Ein Tova, which means holy books, holy Torah books, and a good eye. A good eye is to see things positive in other people and not be jealous, and also to see the divine spark in everything and everybody. And that's our work here in bringing in the Gula, is to see the divine spark in everybody and everything. And that's what we're going to try to do today. And it's a very focused shiur. It's not all over the place, so that you really will get a depth, hopefully, and feel that we need to work on this to bring the Gula. So as usual, we learn, we experience, we vitalize. That's with the three parts. We're going to learn from the Hasidic things. So, but interesting today is that we're doing something from the Sefer Yetzirah, which is the first book of Kabbalah, reputed to be of Abraham Avinu. And so in the first passage, in the first verse, it says this. And I'm just going to a little bit close me. So we'll go. No. So let me see. No, I have to go back here. Just have to pin me. Sorry. Okay. And then I'll just read this. Okay. So, so I can read it. So before we explore the individual letters, let's ground in the fundamental teaching of the Sefer Yetzirah. And that's what it says. With 32 mystical paths of wisdom, Yah, the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the living God, King of the universe, El Shaddai, merciful and gracious, high and exalted, dwelling in eternally, whose name is holy. He is holy and holy, lofty and holy, carved and created his universe with three dimensions, Sefer, Sipur, and Mispar. So there are three dimensions correspond to Sefer, which is the world, the space, the physical realm, the letters as forms and vessels, and Mispar, the numerical, this year and time, like time is like numbers and values of the mathematical harmony of creation. So that, for example, if you have the week, if you have a day of 24 hours, you have the week, 7 days, you have the month, 30 days, you have the year, and that's one aspect of it, as well as each letter means a number, which has significant meaning. And as well, that if anything was a little bit off in the mathematical position of the sun to the earth, we'd all not be here, because it's so precise. Everything is exact, precise, and creates a harmony of the creation. And the Sipur which is a story, another name for story, which is the pronunciation. It's the Sipur, it's the soul or the spirit. And it's the breath of life that animates the letters. Like I've talked many times about, the letters are the building blocks of divine creation. And there, Baal Shem Tov says three things. You have the form, which is like the Sefer, and then you have your Neshama, which is your consciousness, and you have the Elokut. So the Elokut is the divinity in every letter. So what we're doing by saying the letters out loud, we're evoking and awakening this spiritual essence and divine essence of every word. And this word, as I mentioned, the word sphira, which means counting and luminous emanations, the 10 sphirot, the Keter, Chochma, Bina, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut, all are the sphirot, which is again the paradigm of the template of the whole world. Everything has sphirot in them, and it's that part of us. So teaching that every letter is simultaneously a vessel of light, a number, a harmony in that number, and the breath of the divine. Every letter has it. And we talk now today about Samach, which is a round circle, and it's completely enclosed, and it's 60, the number 60, and it means lismoch is to support, or it becomes like I'm supported by Hashem is supporting me, I'm supported by trust, there's an issue, and a prop, lismoch, to have a prop, like a cane or something that supports you. It means support, protection, encirclement, and wholeness. It's something whole, like a whole circle is whole. And we're going to basically talk about the sacred texts of the Sifrei Kodesh, the Holy Torah books. So we're going to use those three dimensions, the Sifrei Tzira, to understand a little bit deeper about the Samech. So the perfect circle of a Samech represents the encompassing nature of sacred texts, surrounds us with protection in physical space, like the circle walls of a sanctuary. Holy books create a sacred boundary beside this. But if you look behind me, those are my sacred holy Torah books. There's my Kabbalah books, there's my Hasidut books, there's Baal Shem Tov books. They're always around me, circling with the holy energy that they give me. And I have on this side is my another holy books that I'm using now. So when you have in every room, except the bathroom, of course, a Tehillim of, Psalms, when you have a book that was one of the mitzvahim of Rabbi Lembavitch, that every room should have a Tanya and a Tehillim, it creates positive, protective energy. The physical book itself has energy, and especially if you open it. So we'll get into that. So the Mispar corresponds to the 60 traits of the Talmud, tractates of the Talmud, representing the complete cycle of wisdom through time, preserving traditions across generations. So the Talmud was the oral Torah, which we're talking about, was given over to Moshe Rabbeinu and Har Sinai, and he taught it orally to Yeshua and to the Sanhedrin and to all the prophets and all the generations until it came a time when Yehuda Nasi had to write the Talmud, and then it became written and discussed in the Gemara and the Halachot and all that till now. So that means we have the generations of the whole oral law representing by the number 60. So when we say the sipur, the soul and spirit, when we say the word samech, lismoch, to support, we're speaking to this letter in divine support from us and creates a spiritual embrace in ourselves. So we really need to feel in these times Hashem is supporting us. Hashem, if you don't see Hashem in everything that's happening nowadays, it's just like boggling. So that's because Hashem is supporting us. It's supporting on Israel. So this is why it's apropos today, this word. And it is sacred books, according to Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov taught that the letter Samech, shaped as a perfect circle, represents the encompassing light of Torah, which surrounds and protects us. So just as the circle has no beginning and no end, the wisdom contained in sacred books is infinite and eternal. It symbolizes also this close, that how Torah study creates a protective shield around us who engage in it. Rabbi Nachman said the books of the righteous ones are like the letter Samech, surrounding us the holiness, protection. And when we study from the sacred books, we're incited by divine light that elevates our guards against negative influences. So, ladies, this tour is about bringing in more Sifrei Kodesh into your life, learning more Torah. And by doing that, we are going to push away the negative influences of what's happening in the evil in the world. So by learning and being attached more to holy studies, it'll help us, it'll help your soul, it'll help Am Yisrael and the world. That's what we're talking about today. Samech, the sacred book, the Sfat Emet, means divine sport. Just as this letter is complete, so with no opening, so the support we see from sacred text is complete and all-encompassing. We are held in when we immerse ourselves in Torah study, we are held from all sides. The Meshiloach Itzperzer says, it's like teaches that the divine wisdom has no end. And each time we return to the same text, we discover new meanings, as if the circle constantly expands to reveal greater heights. So depth. So it's to understand that even though, for example, we study Parashat Shavua every week and the Torah portion, and every year we learn something new. There's so many layers and layers and layers, and it causes us to understand that we'll never know because it's infinite. Torah is infinite because it comes from the infinite source, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is infinite. So divine wisdom in the Torah is infinite. Kedushat Levi says it's 60, corresponding 60 tractates of the Talmud, teaches that the entirety of the oral Torah forms a protective circle around the Jewish people, preserving us through exile and hardship. So because there were always Jews studying Torah and oral Torah, that even helped us to survive, because we survived through exile and hardship, because there was always Jews studying the Torah and the oral Torah. So I'm going to now just close this, and we're going to, if you would like to close your eyes, we will do a meditation. Okay? So close your eyes. And before you do that, I would like you to get a sacred book. Take any book. It could be it could be a Sidur, it could be a Chumash. I want you to feel the energy so that you connect to physically the physical energy of a book. So when you have a physical book, just give me a WhatsApp up sign if you have a book, a Tehillim, it could be Tehillim, a Sidur, whatever it is. You got one? Good. Simcha, you have one?
I have the wisdom in the Hebrew alphabet.
Okay, that's good. Hannah Lois, you have something holy? Good, good. Got Edina something? Good, yofi. Okay, so that's, you can put your hand on it, really. Just put it on, put your hands on it for now. And we're going to feel what it feels, the energy from this holy book. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. So you sit comfortably with the sacred book near you or under your fingers. Breathe deeply and close your eyes and center yourself in the presence of generations of wisdom. Breathe in the light of Torah wisdom and then breathe out confusion and doubt. You breathe in the light of Torah wisdom and you breathe out confusion and doubt. So we have a lot of confusion these days, so breathe it out, ladies. Breathe in the light of Torah wisdom and breathe out confusion or doubt. And contemplate. I'm surrounded by wisdom of generations, generations after generations. So visualize yourself. You're going to be opening, not now, but your sacred book. And you imagine that the letters of light are rising from these pages. As we said, the Hebrew letters and Torah knowledge is light. So imagine the letters, these luminous letters full of light, forming a protective samach or a circle around you. Close your eyes and feel this light from these letters surrounding you, protecting you. So this is the three dimensions of the Sefer. So you're seeing the Samech as a circle of golden light surrounding you physically. So you feel this protective circle expanding and expanding to include everyone here or in your room. You're creating a sacred sanctuary where you feel protected. It's like a bitachon bubble. It's like a bubble of protection. And you're safe. You're safe here in this safe room. That's why it's so good to bring a holy book to you when you go into the mamad or in the bombshell. It will help you to feel protected from everything. So contemplate the number 60 now, which really is the complete cycle of Talmudic wisdom. And you see yourself connected to an unbroken chain of learning that extends backward and forward through time. See this unbroken chain of Torah wisdom, backward and forward in time. And now we're going to say the word samech, or you can choose the word somech, which means I trust, I'm supported, I'm supported by Hashem. Somech, I am supported. And feel this very sound creating spiritual support around you now. And as you repeat it over and over, somech or sameach, samech, feel more deeply held by divine protection. Somech, somech. Concentrate on this holy word or letter as you and any thoughts come up, you just watch and focus and return to saying this. Somer or Samer. I will be quiet for a few moments as you repeat it gently to yourself.
Hi, Delia.
Hi. We're doing a meditation. We're concentrating, repeating the word Samer. Somer. I'm supported by Hashem in a beautiful Samer enclosure, like a bubble of protection. Samer. Hashem is creating you every moment. Every moment is anew, and He's supporting you, protecting you, guiding you and all Am Yisrael now in this special time together. Okay, take a few deep breaths, and when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Hi, Hannah Sarah. Welcome. How was that? Did you feel supported?
I
Hmm,
did. I
good.
loved it. It was wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
it
We need
was,
that right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
it felt great. It's just,
I
Maybe you're
can't hear
muted,
her. She muted
muted,
herself. You
muted.
mute.
it felt like a protective bubble and it felt
Right,
great.
right. That's what. So whenever you feel a little scared, just imagine the samach around you protecting you, and say to yourself, "I am safe. Shem is here. I am safe." Very important these days, don't you think?
It's the whole Talmud, the tractate of the Talmud.
That's right. 60 is
That's
it's
pretty amazing.
Nahon. Nahon. All the 60 tractates. There's 60 tractates
60
of the Talmud.
tractates of the
Of the
Talmud.
Masechtot, they call them in Hebrew.
Insectus, right?
Hannah, Sarah, you okay? You came back from the north? From, yeah? Anybody else here? Where is, I don't know, here else is. Hi, Dina. Hi, Dina. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so I
Good.
will continue. We just finished meditating on Samach and Somech, Hashem, to feel the bubble of protection around us with the Samach. And now we're going into Ayin, which is a very important concept we're going to learn today. And it is the open eye. It's a bent. The shape is a bent eye and a bent form. It's an eye in a bent form. So its value is 70, like Shishim. 60 was the Samach, Ayin is 70, and it means the eye. And it's vision, perception, and humility, generosity of spirit. So the quality we're learning very much today is Ayin Tovah, having a good eye, to see things. We can see, have a choice, whether to see things with through lack or through the blessing and abundance. We can see the horrible things that are happening now, or we can concentrate on the miracles. That is our choice from moment to moment. if we can see what the beautiful things, the hashgacha prati, the divine providence, we can see it lifts us up. But if we only see the terrible, then we're drawn down. So it's work on ourselves, because as well, I'll talk about it a little bit more, and then I'll go into details. So again, from the Sefer Yetzirah, then that same Sefer of Sefer Mispar V'Sipur, we are learning about the Ayin. So the shape of the Sefer of the world, the space, the physical form of the Ayin represents both an Ayin, a humble bow, teaching us that the true spiritual vision comes when it requires that we have a posture of humility and the generous perception that sees the good in all creation. If we're full of arrogance and pride, then we think we're better than other people. Then we think, why is Shema doing to me? But when you feel, that's why humility is this essential trait of any spiritual person, and it takes a lot of work. And developing our Ayin Tovah will help us. So the Mispar is the 70 faces of Torah, Shiv'im Panim LeTorah, and the 70 nations of the world, Shiv'im Amim, teaching us that divine wisdom unfolds through multiple perspectives across time, and that generous vision sees the divine spark in everybody. So, what I'm teaching about the Shiv'im Panim Torah, the 70 faces, that everybody has a different way of going into Torah. Some people like halacha, some people like Gemara, some people like Hasidut, some people like Kabbalah, some people like, there's so many ways. And we not to feel that our way is the only way. To understand that there's many ways of learning Torah, and that's great. That's the way it should be. So you have to be generous and say, okay, he likes it like that. I do it like this, So the Sipur is to understand, as I said before, and when we learned about Aleph, is that Ayin and Aleph are interchangeable according to Kabbalah, because they both are silent letters. So it means, when we say Ayin, it means also Ein. It can be also Ein, which means it means nothingness and humility, which is, I think, I don't know if you spell it right, Aleph Yud Nun, which means Ein, which means also Ein, vision. So when we speak the letter, we invoke the humble emptiness that creates space for wisdom and generous eye that sees blessing everywhere. So in order for us to learn the Torah, we have to empty out our vessel and say, I don't know, what does he have to say? If we think we know everything, then we can't learn any new Torah. So it's important for us to be an empty vessel and humility to be able to absorb new Torah and to have that humility. So the Baal Shem Tov taught that the letter Ayin represent not just any eye, but the Ayin Tovah, the good eye that sees the divine spark in all beings. And what is the whole idea of the Gula? Is the Mashiach consciousness? What is that? It means that we'll have that consciousness. We'll have that consciousness to be able to see the divine spark in everything and everybody. That's when we know Mashiach is here, is that we will all be able to see the divine spark. And that's what we're working for. So this work is very, very crucial now at this time. This generous vision transforms not only the seer, but the seen, creating circles of blessing wherever it gazes. So this is also a very important of Hasidut, of the Baal Shem Tov and Rabbi Nachman. When you're blessing somebody, you're not only blessing them, but you're blessing yourself. So it goes both ways. You're creating, and even Rabbi Nachman would say, the Zamra, that you see the Nikudat Tova, even somebody who is a sinner, and even when does bad and everything. But if you see the good point in him, the divine spark, his Nitzot Eloki, is a divine soul, then you're helping him to do tshuva, and he believes in himself. And if a person believes in the other person, that helps him to raise himself. So you're creating blessing. So that's the work here. The Kotzker Rebbe says the Ein Tovah is the opposite of Ein Ra'ah, while the evil eye sees lack and generates jealousy. When you want, the good eye sees abundance and creates blessing. The Ben shape of Ein teaches to bow our ego so that our vision can be truly generous. And the Alter Rebbe, the Baal Hatanya, said it remains both nothingness and Ein Ra'ein. When we achieve the nothingness of ego's humility, Then our spiritual eye opens to perceive the divine light hidden in all things naturally developing to us. So, as I was saying, this consciousness of to see the divine, the divinity in everything, it's like a spiritual eye that opens up. Because sometimes you'll see the third eye, that eye, that is the that consciousness of seeing the divine light in everything. And that you do after there's such a shame meditating and doing good deeds and praying and learning Torah. It's opening up our spiritual eye. The word from Rabbi Nachman means humility, also eye, but more than that, it's the generous eye that sees other people's success without jealousy and recognize the divine abundance in all situations. So when you're jealous of somebody, that means you want to have what they have. So, but then you see that they deserve it, and there's enough to go around for everybody. And we all have different things. And the Chidushei Arim said, Ein Tova is not merely happy for others' successes, recognize them. Others are blessed, then the whole world is elevated. The good eye sees the interconnectedness between the, oh, where am I? Am I here? Yeah, no, this is where I am. The interconnectedness of all souls and knows that another's blessing enhances rather than diminishes our own. So when we bless somebody else, rather than seeing the bad in them, Baruch Hashem, Hannah said that being in a bomb shelter with her neighbors, all of a sudden you get to know your neighbors. But you can also have neighbors that are not so nice. And so you have to really, really work hard on your Ein Tovah when you're in together in a bomb shelter a few times a day. So it's to see the good, and it takes work. Yeah. So Rabbi Menachem Mendel of God said the numerical value 70 representing the 70 faces of Torah and the 70 nations. It allows us the divine wisdom, and there's different perspectives, and to find holiness in all of creation and blessing each nation's unique contribution to the divine plan. It's like I'm always saying, thank goodness for the Filipinos who come and help the seniors. What would we do without the Filipinos? They have their role in life, here in Israel, for example. So let's do this meditation, okay? So make yourself comfortable, and I will sit with your back straight, close your eyes, slightly bowed, bow your head a little bit, embodying the humble yet alert posture of Ein. Now place your hands gently upon your heart, okay? Now I want you to bring to somebody whose success you might normally envy, or if you don't envy, then you might have some Ein, you don't see them in a good eye. Okay, let's put it that way. You have a lot of criticism about them. You don't see good in them. Something bad about them. Okay. Now, with your hands in your heart, you visualize the Ein as a generous eye in your heart. And you're going to see their blessing and bless them. And if, as part of the divine abundance available to her, and send them a blessing. You may say, may your light continue to shine and elevate all creation, or I see something good in them that you hadn't noticed before. Just think of the person that you don't have an Ein Tovah on, and think of some good part of them. You can say a good trait that they have, something they have that you can learn from, and send them a blessing to them. And notice how you feel when you bless others. You're creating more blessing in your life. By seeing good in them, you're creating more blessing in your own life. And visualize yourself as a clear window through which divine light shines. Visualize yourself as a clear window through which divine light shines. And then you practice the nothingness of ego, the bitul ego, bitul ayesh, just being humility while still feeling the fullness, the wholeness of Ein Tova. As you continue to visualize this letter Ein as the luminous eye opening your heart, and imagine now, if you could, your room where you're sitting around, and you would look at your physical space and see the divine spark that's everywhere. And you feel that everything has the pictures, the flowers, the books, the table. They wouldn't be here if they didn't have a divine spark. So go in your mental eye and see that everything in your room has a divine spark. Now the mispar, the year or time, as you contemplate the number 70, representing the many faces of divine wisdom, feel yourself connected to the Shivim Panim of Torah, the 70 faces of Torah, and just seeing that there's unique divine light in all kinds of Torah learning. And accept that everybody has their own way of Torah learning. And Sipur, soul or spirit, when you silently say the word Ayin, you're cultivating both humility as Ain, as nothingness, or in generous version as Ain, as a good eye, Ain Tova. So feel yourself, Mega, feel yourself just being a soul that is collecting, that is really coming a, a clear lens for divine perception. So we're going to say the word Ain, or Ain Tova if you like, as a prayer that you can have Ain Tova of what's happening now in your family, at home, with friends, anything you would like Ain Tova over. And just repeat the words Ain Tova. And if any thoughts come, you just dismiss them and go back to saying, praying for Ain Tova. Ain Tova. Ain Tova. So be quiet for a few moments as you repeat this quietly, this humble prayer to Hashem that you have. Ain Tova. Ain Tova. So you can recognize how Ein Tova connects you to the divine source of all blessing. As you take a few deep breaths, let everything out go. And you may open your eyes. Okay. Who would like to share anything that you noticed or experienced? Was it easy or hard or challenging, that whole concept? How does it feel? Anybody want to share? Did you want to share, Simcha? Huh? Did you want to share?
Hi.
No? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I was saying I felt very light. I felt very light and very happy and very hopeful.
Hopeful. That's
Hopeful.
great. That we need a lot of hope these days, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Tiferet, how was that for you, sweetie? Tiferet?
Where's everybody? Oh, there you are.
Tiferet? You went on mute?
Oh, sorry, I unmuted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How was that for you? How was it for you?
Well, good.
Uh-oh.
So I'm very tired because my neighbor was trying to have a good eye for for 2 hours from 2 to 4. They ran a machine, and I
Oh.
went into my bed to try to take a nap, and I'm very tired.
Oh, okay.
And
So hopefully you will relax tonight. We'll
yeah,
have good sleep, hopefully.
she doesn't. She has a very nice family orientation, but not for the neighbors, and it's a bother to me.
Oh. So it's learning how to stop Ein Tova to a noisy neighbor.
Yeah.
But you just did. You just did. You said she has a very nice family orientation. So
Yeah.
you already,
Yeah.
yep, that's very good. Kol
Yeah.
hakavod lach.
Mhm.
Hannah, would you like to share?
I just find it extremely relaxing and soothing and yeah, powerful. Thank
Good.
you.
Good.
Ishai Barad's coming over.
Okay. Simcha, mute. Edina?
I tell you, uh, um,
There's
I
Dina
felt
and
a few things. First of all, I felt like the meditation put me in a very separated space. You know, something that was like being on a, I didn't feel like a desert island, but that's the mashal I want to convey, that the meditation made me feel like I was in this completely detached situation. And
that's good.
that was quite nice.
Good.
But I had a trouble with the ayin and the ayin, because ayin, when it's nothing, is aleph. So I had these like visual meetings of aleph and ayin, like sisters, you know, kind of coming together. And I didn't know if I was with one or the other, but when I was with the ayin, I took it ayin in the sense of another. Right, the nothingness of another, right? But like ayin and aleph and ayin, so I was like trying to
They
balance
sound the
them
same.
out.
Right.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sound the same. Good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad I gave you sort of like a bubble of desert to be in a desert to get out of
Not a
the
desert, a
crazy
desert
weather.
island, like an
A desert
island.
island.
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Oasis kind of thing.
Yeah,
Hannah
no, an
Sarah?
island. An island isn't.
An island.
There's no desert around. It's like
No, an island. An island.
you know, good around, right? Desert
Right.
island
Good.
is like good is around, right?
Good. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah.
Hannah Sarah, you want to share anything?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because I'm in the Shomron still.
Okay.
I just experienced some light and spaciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very positive
Good.
and good. Yeah.
Good. That's good. So my goal here is that you feel positive and spacious. So give you a little bit of room in this crazy time we're living. Right. Adina? Edina. Yes.
It was really beautiful. I felt very calm and relaxed and light.
Light. Wonderful. Beautiful. So we're going on, and thank you for sharing, everybody. I'm so glad helping you to connect to a reality that is spirituality that we can go to sometimes when we think of it, when we visualize and meditate. So there's deeper connection between samach ayin together, that they're consequential, they're in sequence, that sacred knowledge, samach, and a generous vision must work together. First is the protection and generous perception. The protective circle of the samach creates a safe space where the generous eye of Ayin Tova can truly see blessings. So if we don't feel safe, then it's hard to see good things. So when we feel safe, then we can see the good. That's first of all. Second, it means completeness. And Ayin Tova see there's divine abundance for everybody. So they teach that true wholeness see, includes seeing and blessing the abundance around us. It's to see that too. And their deeper connection supports. So some of its divine wisdom supports us. While Ayin teaches that to us to become a source of blessing for others. So we are simultaneously supported and supporting. Okay, so there's that dusiach, this dialogue between them. And enclosed. So samach is closed for protection. It closes like a safe. While ayin is open, we opens it up. So we sometimes we need to protect our spiritual practice, and sometimes we have to generously share its fruits. We have to let it go and let it go to other people. And according this also means the letter samach ayin, which means sa, which means masa or nisiya is the word for travel. It's a spiritual journey requires we need both the sacred protection of sacred teachings and the generous eye that sees the divine blessing in every step of the path. So this is part of our Messiah. There's a beautiful story of the circle and the eye of the Rebbe Zushel of Honeypool, once asked by students, "How do you pray with such remarkable devotion?" So Rabbi Zusha thought for a moment and then drew the letter Samach in the dust. "First, I create a circle around myself, shutting out all distractions and concerns of the world. Then he drew the letter Ayin beside it. Then I bow myself in complete humility, if before the infinite, becoming nothing, so that I might see everything." Interesting. I become nothing so that I might see everything. Okay. These two movements, he explained, create the conditions for true prayer. First, we have to protect yourself from distraction. That means it doesn't help to be in a noisy place. We need protection. We have to be, where there's no distraction, and at the same time be have humility for the divine. The students noticed that together the letters Samach and Ayin spelled Sa, meaning travel or journey. Yes, confirmed Rav Susha. Prayer is a journey from the enclosed circle of self-protection to the open eye of divine perception. So this is how a Hasid could use the Samach and Ayin as first to create a circle to protect himself and to be humble at the same time, as Dina mentioned that the humility, the Ayin is the Anava. Okay. So we're going now into a deep Buddhadut now, because to tell you the truth, I have a lot of problem with Ayin. I need to see good things. I mean, I do, but I can work on it much more. So I don't know. If anybody can feel that they have to work on their Ayin Tova, You raise your hand if you feel you have to work on your Ein Tova.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. 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 We all have, yeah. It's a normal human trait that we like to look at other people and criticize them. You know, if you go to the synagogue, you go to any place, well, he's wearing that, they're wearing this, they're doing this. So it's to understand that we have a natural human tendency to do that. So it's learning to see the good in people. I only been blessed, oh Hashem, with a father who was extremely, extremely into Ein Tova. And he would look and look. He wouldn't say anything unless he could say something good about something. So Baruch Hashem, that was hopefully, I don't touch even a little bit to where he got to that, but it's something to strive for. And so we're going to ask in our Hidbodadut, how can I improve my Ein Tova? But what I want to share with you also, uh, this, uh, what I want to share with you now is that last week my mentor Rav Daniel Katz had a beautiful session and was interviewed, and they asked him, how can you bring what can we do every day to help us meditate? How do we get this calmness and serenity? So he I'm going to mention to you too now, and you think about it if you can do, because we're going to also do Sifrei Kodesh. So he says what you do after, or he goes to the mikvah first thing, or you can take a shower, get dressed, do some your brachot or your tefillot or whatever you want to do. But before you meditate, is to take a Sefer Kodesh, a holy book that means something to you. So it could be Tilim, it could be Chumash, it could be the Kabbalah, it could be a Hasidic text. And then you open your consciousness and then you meditate because you're connected to this generations of Chokhmah that opens up your soul, and then you're able to meditate much deeper. So I want to share with you that, but I forgot the most important thing. He said to us, do not open your your phone until after you meditate. Okay? So I mean, it might take an hour, it might take an hour. So this morning, this morning, I didn't open my phone. I didn't know that we couldn't go anywhere. I didn't know until about, a while later what was going on until about 8:30 or 8 o'clock when we are called with all the things. So I don't know, but at least try not to open up your phone the first thing in the morning. It gives you distraction. It gives you whatever. So that's a practice to try to strive for, not to have open your phone first thing and first pray, learn some Torah, meditate, and then Besat Hashem. But if you have a war going on, it's kind of difficult. I know, I understand, but you can try. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's everybody here, and we're going to do a meditation. Okay.
Dahlia, it could be that when there's a war going on and you
Yeah.
have responsibility for people, that it's not even exactly timely advice.
Nachon.
You
That's
know,
what I
like
said to you.
maybe we can think like as we do it, well, if there wasn't a war going on, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Nachon.
You know, it's like it has a yeah, and maybe in another time we could easily,
Right.
but
Did you?
maybe
And
right
yeah,
now we could kind of bracket that a little bit
right.
somehow.
Eventually. So eventually we'll come to a point where we don't have to know but to be aware that we don't have to look at our phones every 5 minutes to know what's going
Right,
on. That's,
right,
that's the issue. Not to, it's really distracting, gets us out of that.
right.
What he's saying, even if you just do your brachot first, Birkat Shachar, and then open it or something like that. Just keep it to that, first connect to Hashem before you open your phone. That's the idea. Okay. So I agree with you 100%. It wasn't such good advice this morning. Okay. Okay. So let's start. So get a comfortable place and we're going to just start. Okay. So we're going to do the sacred books in Ein Tova, A Soul Ascend to Divine Wisdom, and Hidbodadut for Ein Tova, for generous wisdom. So try to settle into a comfortable seated position that you feel both alert and relaxed. So you just take a few deep breaths, drawing in wisdom with each inhale and releasing any spiritual stinginess or jealousy or anything you want to release right now that's bothering you. So just draw in, inhale divine wisdom, and let go anything that feels stressful right now out of your exhalation. Inhale divine wisdom and let go anything you want to release. So we're going to gain this work on the Samach and Ain in the lens of the Sefer Yutzah. Sefer, which is physical form, Mispar, the numbers, and Sipur, which is the breath of life. To know that there's also elements. So the sin Samach is connected to the fire. It's the fire of illuminating wisdom connected with protective grounds. And the Ain is connected to the breath. The air that blesses and sees and blesses. So we're going to focus on the text, Sifrei Kodesh, for a few moments, okay? And just have that holy book beside you as you would think of the Sefer, the world. You're going to visualize this holy book, or in general, all holy books, as physical sanctuaries. Their pages creating sacred space wherever they're opened. When we open a Sefer Kodesh, a Sifrei Kodesh, we're opening up and creating sacred space with their holy energy from the letters. And you can feel the harmony of the numbers within the text. 60 tractates, 613 mitzvot. So they're perfectly proportions. They connect heaven and earth across time. So you hear the breath of the divine in the Sipur, the Ruach that makes these texts alive and eternally relevant today. So when you see yourself speaking these beautiful words of wisdom, you're connecting to the Ruach, the Elokut, the divine spirit in them, and sharing them with others into the world. And then you inhale and say to yourself, this sacred wisdom encompasses me. And you exhale, and I can become a vessel for transmission of this divine wisdom. Inhale as you say, the sacred wisdom encompasses me. And I can exhalation, I can become a vessel for its transmission. We are going to slowly go up and journey upwards into the different spiritual worlds. As we count up from 1 to 10. From 1 to 2, 3, we see and feel our physical body grounded into this world of action and form. And you feel the Samach protecting you like a circle. You're in a bitachon bubble, protected and safe. As we climb up higher to the world of Yitzhirah, this is the world of emotions, 4, 5, 6, and of angels. You can feel your heart opening with Ain Tova, seeing blessing in all formations of divine energy. As you climb higher, 7, 8, 9, to the world of creation, Bria. This is the world of pure understanding of Tzaddikim, where they themselves, the divine wisdom that flows from their holy understanding into the sacred. As we come and allow 9, 10 up to the world of Atzilut, the source of all divine wisdom. Here you from at the very fountain from which all the Torah flows. Feel the light and the holiness of this source and wellspring of Torah wisdom. Like a samech, there's an infinite circle of divine wisdom that has no beginning nor end. And you experience the Ain as the generous divine eye of Hashem who sees only good and gives us so much blessing in all of creation. And you feel you are at the source of sacred knowledge and Ein Tova. Here we ask Hashem to ask to become a vessel of divine wisdom and Ein Tova. Feel it like streams of light entering into your soul, preparing you for when you do return to earth. You have enhanced capacity for sacred study and generous seeing of others. And now, in this elevated consciousness, we're going to do an hitbadadut according to Rabbi Nachman of feeling gratitude. Rabbono Shalom, I thank you now for all the blessings you have given me. What do you have to be grateful for that you practice Ein Tovah, that you have sacred books in your life, for all your teachers, for your learning? What do you have to be grateful for Hashem? All the nisim he's doing these days. What do you want to say thank you for to Hashem today? But all of us have with humility to confess that I confess before you that times my eyes been ayin rara instead of ayin tuva. When I felt jealousy instead of joy at another's success. When instead of seeing abundance, I only saw lack. When I approached sacred text with pride instead of humility. What is your confession? I confess, Hashem, that what do you confess now? Then we have the yearning, Express your deepest longings. Ribono Shalom, how I yearn to see the world through your generous eyes. I long to study Torah with humility that opens up new depths of understanding. I deeply desire to look at the people and see their divine spark shining, and help me to develop true Ayin Tovah that brings blessings to everyone I encounter. What is your deepest yearning now? I deeply desire Hashem. Which rises within us an authentic prayer. Please help me to feel joy, to feel approach the sacred texts with humility. Give me eyes that see abundance instead of scarcity. Make me a channel for your blessing. What you have to ask, and then we'll be silent. And to hear, open your heart to what we can develop more Ayin Tovah in my life. How can I become a better vessel for divine wisdom? What do I have to do? And just allow Hashem to give you some insights. Make a heartfelt prayer from your soul and then be silent. I will be quiet for a few moments. We will slowly come down, bringing these divine insights in an enhanced capacity within you as you come down from Atzilut 10, 9, 8, bringing divine wisdom into your understanding. 7, 6, 5, from Bria to Yetzirah, to feel the Ein Tova in your heart, and generous emotions. 3, 2, from 1, come back to your physical body. Now a refined vessel for sacred wisdom and generous vision. Consent and intention that we will return to study sacred texts of Torah with humility and generosity, and to practice Ein Tovah as a form of divine service. That this is what the world needs, our Ein Tovah, to see the divine spark in everything and everyone. So bring these gifts from this journey into your day-to-day life. And take a few deep breaths. Place your hands over your eyes and know that you've touched the source of divine wisdom and generous vision. And may this experience continue to transform you every day. Take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Anybody would like to share? How was that? Nobody wants to share.
It was, it was a good feeling to ask Hashem to help with accomplishing Ayin Tova. Because it's difficult. Our minds tend to judge, but we have to judge favorably everyone, right. Just like we want Hashem to judge us favorably with compassion.
Right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Dina, you want to share?
So there were some very good things in that were really very nice. What was bothering me was the difference between, it's the Rebbe Nachman Torah, actually, in Likutei Halachot, between elevation and ga'ava, or humility and smallness. So for me, I was really wondering whether this going up to Atzilut and access all of this very high, whether this was really in keeping with the anava of the ayin for me. So I was having a kind of internal back and forth about that. I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but so I don't want to get, spend too much time, because maybe it's a very personal thing. But it was, anyway, there were some very lovely things in this, yes.
Good. So basically what you're saying, so in order to go into Hitbodedut, you need to go elevate yourself. And to elevate is to imagine that you're in that world that's you. Doesn't mean in order to be the more spiritual you are, all the rabbis say, the more spiritual you are, the more humble you are. They're not against each other. Not from pride. You go elevate. You're elevating your soul. The more, in fact, the Baal Shem Tov says, first you need to be, humility is the first step to be close to Hashem. So it's not against, it's helping you to be in Anava and still be connected to your spiritual self. They're not, you can't, if you're full of pride and ego, you don't elevate yourself too much. No, you're not the same. Can anybody else want to share? Okay. All right. Okay. We will now work a little bit of the movements. And so the Samach is a round circle over our head, and the Ayin is placing our hands over our eyes. And we're going to feel the three parts. That means the physical form, and then we'll make circles in with our whole body parts, and then we'll move in a circle in the space. And then for Ayin, we're going to also open and close, and then going around the room, seeing the blessing in our room, blessing things we have in our life, to be able to do that, to be able to feel that we have the possibility to have the Ein Tova with ourselves in whatever we have right now, and be grateful for what we have. And we will do the two words, Sifrei Kodesh, well, actually the four words, Sifrei Kodesh va'Ein Tova. So I'm going to stop the share, And I would love to stop us move and get it embodied, all those beautiful concepts.
Trying to mute myself. I don't know why it won't work.
Okay, I'll mute you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, mute also HaNeshama. Okay. All right, everybody here who needs to be here. Okay, so first we do the samech, which is the roundness. So you feel this aura, or if you call it, the Kabbalah calls it or makif. It's the encompassing light that's around us, that energy field. They can now even see it. And photography and Kirlian photography, they can see the different colors of your aura. So it's like to imagine that you have this beautiful purple or golden light around us, around your body, and you're just seeing it just flow around you, that's protecting you like a beautiful bubble. Okay, so we can open up our legs and do that a little bit bigger, all the way up and down. Breathe out. Inhale. Feel yourself being protected and all the way beautiful. Your beautiful holy soul is surrounded by this beautiful samech. And you somech al Hashem. You're completely supported by Hashem right now. In every moment. And relax. Good. And now we do some circles, samech, with our head. Just relax very gently. Don't do it too hard if you have a problem. With your neck, just make a very small circle. And then make circles with your shoulders. We're just sitting past our at the desk. So just open up your chest and make circles with your shoulders. And the other direction. And take a hand and make a circle. Open your legs and make a circle. A big circle. And the other side, circle, a samach with one hand. And then even two hands, make a bend and make a circle. That huge, supporting other side. And bend. As we can make circles also with our hands and wrists. And even like this circles. And the other way. You can place your hands on your hips, on your waist, and you can make a circle with your upper body. And the other side. Feeling the roundness, completeness. You can place your hands on your back and you just make circles with bending your knees and making circles with your hips and pelvis area. That's also a possibility. We can make circles with our knees. It's got a little balance issue. And the other side. We can make circles with our feet and our ankles as you stand up straight so that you don't fall. Other side. So that's samach. And then we're going to walk around the room like a beautiful samach, feeling your energy protection, and make a big circle around the room as you look around the room and feel very tall and supported. And just take notice how it feels to feel like a very elegant circle, a very elegant, you're a bat melach, you're a beautiful princess, and you're making a beautiful circle and just feeling protected and safe. Everything's fine. And you come back. Wonderful. That's samach. Ein is closing our eyes and opening our hands out to the side. That's Ein, Ein Tova. So we're going to bless ourselves with Ein Tova. As this time, we're just going to walk around the room and observe, maybe as if for the first time, all the beautiful things you have in the room. I can see my beautiful flowers and my candle, and be grateful for all the books you have. Go around the room and just open and see for the first time your pictures, anything that you see, all your holy books, Hasidic books, and Kabbalah books, and all these wonderful books that are in my beautiful wood room. Just enjoy and see the divinity. And that's our work, to see that everything ain't od milvado, ain't od. Wonderful. That's the Ein. We're now going to do the Sifrei Kodesh. Samech, Pei, has that open and say good things. Resh, holding up, and Yud, the divine essence in all things. Kodesh, Lekofef, Kedusha, holiness in humility. Daled, all the way over. One hand as we bring down all this holiness up, down to the highest heavens, down into our heart and soul, and bring in light and esh and simcha with shin. Let's do that one more time. Samech, feeling yourself rounded. Sifrei, pei. Sifrei, resh, holding your hand. Your perceptions are changed. Resh's perceptions, we change our perceptions when we read Sifrei Kodesh, Yud, and seeing the divine essence in the words, in the letters, in each other. Kodesh, bend in humility for Kedusha, holding the kuf, Kadosh, as we bend over for Dalet, making a door for this beautiful channel of divine wisdom that comes to us when we open the books. It brings us simcha, it brings us shalva, shalom, b'kol v'shem. And we're going to do Ein Tova, Ein, open, Yud, a small divine essence, the Yud, feeling in our hearts, ability to see good and divine essence in all people. As we make a long Nun, Ein, is the Nun Sufi, which is reaching from heaven to earth, our connection to Hashem down to this world, to us, to here, right now, in this moment. Tova, Tet, being a channel, a kli, a vessel for all the good and brachot is Tet, one hand up, one hand by your hand, bringing it all the way down as a channel again. We're bringing open our legs up a little bit, and we bring a bracha, Bet, hold hands in front of you, feeling your hands facing up, feeling the bracha in our lives as we just let our hands flow from side to hay, allowing this beautiful hay and hay's revelation of the divine breath in every letter. Ein Tova, Ein, as we ask Hashem, please give me Ein Tova in humility. I am humble, a small little Yud. What do I know? What do I know? As I connect myself to the highest Torahs and to Hashem, as the other hand looks up, becoming a vessel of all the good in the world, that I share goodness in the world by being a channel as above. Open your legs, and you bend over, receiving the bracha of everyone and everything of Hashem, and that allows us to flow through life and being revealed divinity. Place your hands over your heart. Take a few deep breaths. Sifrei Kodesh, what shall I do this week to be more connected to Sifrei Kodesh? And how can I bring more Ein Tova in my relationships with others to become a channel of goodness in the world? Okay, wonderful. How was that, Adina? Was it good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Good, good. Centering. But movement is centering, isn't it? Centering. Okay, good. So now we're going to share what you can do at home this week. Okay, start from the beginning. Okay, all right. So we're going to, there are different practices you can ask questions. These are the questions of this week. So create a spiritual space for your, a sacred space for study. You know, whether it's you have a little place, and make according to the Lubavitch Rebbe, he had a mitzvah once that every room would have, except the bathroom, of course, a place for a Tehillim or a Tanya or whatever holy book you feel that you have in books, holy books in your house, that they're spread around. So you're creating this holy space for study. And where are you going to study? You have a lot of books. So that's, most of us have a lot of books. So that's not a problem. And to set a consistent time to honor. So you say, well, this time I'm going to study this. So this consistently. It's like my husband, after he does his Birkat Shachar and everything, before he goes to shul, he opens the book of Mishnah and learns in Mishnah. So it's whatever it is, one parak of Tehillim or a parak of whatever you want. It's to keep consistent. And begin with a conscious breathing so you connect with the spiritual dimension, the Sipur, and the Ein Tova. So practice by seeing the divine light in your surrounding. You wake up, Modani, what can I see? The birds, the trees, the flowers, the garden, whatever you have to see that makes you be glad to see, to be alive. And when we have different opinions in Torah, so look for the divine wisdom in each perspective. It's okay. People don't understand me all the time because they're not connected to Kabbalah and Chassidut. So that's fine. That's not their way, And not everybody connects to meditation. That's fine. It's not for everybody. So that's Yeshivim Panim Torah. And before you speak, breathe consciously and choose words that come from Ayin Tova. If you have something, if you don't, my mother-in-law had this big sign on her kitchen. If you 1 gram of good words is, in any ways, just watch what you say. Just say what you need to say, not to say something you would regret afterwards. So we're going to, yeah, that's two. Oh, I didn't do the questions. Oh, right, the questions I didn't do. How do sacred texts create physical sanctuary in your space? What numerical patterns or harmonies have you noticed in your studies? Start looking, seeing the patterns of numbers. How does the breath of life within text speak to your soul? And how can you practice Ayin Tovah in your physical environment? What are the 70 faces of wisdom you encounter in different people's perspectives? And how can cultivating Ayin Tovah affect the breath and rhythm of your life? And integration, that how can it change by having Ayin Tovah change your understanding of text? And what happens when sacred knowledge lacks Ein Tova or generous vision lacks sacred parenting. So see that in your life right now. So we have the meditations. I'll be sending you the Samech, the Ein Tova, the combined, the bigger Hitbodedut one. You can do your own personal Hitbodedut. I will send you the movement video and the questions and interactions. So you haven't been writing lately this time at all in the WhatsApp, but anyway, you're all busy. Okay. So it's just to create, to align with the divine patterns, to create and sustain the universe and to be connected to these holy concepts so that you become more of a blessing. And that's what we're here for. This is what Hashem is pushing us now in this time to become holy Jewish women, to become a vessel and a channel of divine wisdom and hope and peace. So somebody said they felt hope and emunah, and it's just this is what we have to really work hard these days. So because we only have 2 more lessons, and I would wanted to stop before July too much. We'll only have 9 and 10, 2 more lessons. And next week, so I'm doing 3 letters, Pei, Tzadik, and Kuf. So it's overcoming Pachad, which is fear, by connecting to Holy Tzadik and giving charity, Kedusha, Tzedakah, and how we can help us do that. So using on these concepts and how we can overcome fear. I mean, does anybody have fear these days? I don't know. Maybe you have fear. Like it's a normal thing. So anyways, so it's time to strengthen our consciousness, seeing the good, see the bracha, and I'm really happy to be part of your spiritual journey in these days of Gula. We are, whether like it or not, we are now in the Gula, Chavlei Mashiach. If you can't see it now, that's really, I gotta see it now. We're in it. And Hashem is pushing us to be the best we can and to see the good, to be strong with Emunah. That's what it is. So if you can just say a word or two or a feedback of how it was tonight for you, I would love to hear from you. Adina, Simcha, Adina, how was it for you tonight?
It was wonderful. I love the meditations. They're just so calming and beautiful.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And Simcha or Dina, Simcha, how was it for you tonight?
It was great. I felt a lot of light and hopefulness and joy.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Kedusha.
Kedusha. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Dina, you're open. What was your take backs for tonight? Feedback?
Well, I just
Takeaways?
really want to thank you and thank everybody. And there's a lot I really love doing the movements, actually. For me, that was really very my weak point. So I really was happy to do that
Oh, good.
with the
Well, yeah,
letters.
I have the videos. That's why I make a video and nobody watches them. But if you watch them, you'll get to enjoy them.
Yeah,
So
I really,
I
really
make it
like
whether you
them.
say there, first and second of all, if anybody hasn't had a private session, Adina, you're still welcome to a private session. I only have 2 more weeks. So if you got to hurry up, if you don't want a private session, I'm not chasing after. If you don't want to have a private session, fine. But if you want a private session, if you haven't had one already, I think a few of it has, Simcha's had. And Hannah, have you had it this time? Yeah, yeah. So Tiferet, did you have this time yet? Yeah.
I had only one, and I'm supposed to have 2. So
Okay, so great. So hurry up because I'm not doing it in July and August. So you gotta have 2 weeks if you're gonna do
and
it.
I
And Dina also, I just
Right. I
somehow
didn't.
ready. I know we're all splashed, but if you don't want, fine. But I'm just saying, I'm here
Dahlia.
to help out.
Dahlia, I
Yeah.
have an idea. If they don't want theirs, I'll take them.
No, it's
I'm
so
just
funny.
joking.
I've stopped writing on the emails. Listen, if you want, fine, but if you don't, fine. I'm not gonna chase after you because there's enough things to do. So, Baruch Hashem. Hannah Sarah, how are you today? How was it for you today? Hannah Sarah, you want to mute? Or Tiferet?
Yeah, no, it's lovely, really lovely. I
Oh, good.
appreciate so much the chance to just settle down and settle into myself and find a quiet place and a peaceful place that I needed to find today, and
Great.
appreciate it very much.
Yo, I'm glad. Are you coming home or are you staying with your family?
Uh, I think I'm coming. I need to come home.
Okay.
It, I've been here since Thursday night, and
Hmm.
it's good, but it's like I don't know. I need my own home sometimes.
Oh,
It's like
right. Yeah, your own bed. Nothing like your own bed.
yeah, but I did what I came. I mean, I helped my
Good,
daughter celebrated
good.
her 25th anniversary, and
Wow.
it was beautiful, and
Oh, good.
helped with Shabbos and did some art with the
Wonderful.
kids, just like, and
Bring your
sometimes I have,
savta.
yeah, and sometimes I just had loose ends and I got nervous and I took a walk or I just felt like, what am I doing here? Like
Right.
if I'm not giving or engaged, okay, I can do Tehillim, I can read a book, but it's like, still, it's like when I'm home, it's just like I try to find projects get done and stuff. So it was a little unnerving sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but I really respect them very much.
Baruch Hashem.
The one
Ein
family that,
Tova. Ein Tova. Ein
yeah,
Tova of your family.
exactly.
Baruch
And
Hashem. Kol hakavod. Kol hakavod. Ein Tova.
yeah,
Wonderful family.
yeah, okay.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So,
Yeah, that was
Tiferet,
good.
how are you? Tiferet, how are you doing today? How was it for
Fine.
you?
At this time, I've been more nervous about the situation than usually I wasn't. So I'm trying to deal with that.
Do you have a mamad or a bomb shelter to go to, my dear?
We took out the one wall of it to make a bedroom for our tenant, and it has a glass window in it. So not really. I just go and Benny put more amudim than we really needed, so I kind of like stay where I think I'll be safe. That's all. And he just sits and has breakfast, and this morning he was watching the interceptions. So,
Okay.
but
Okay. Well, you're willing to come to my house anytime. You live across the street. You can come
yeah,
across to my
if I
bomb
get
shelter.
nervous that you might find me there.
No
Thanks.
problem. Just warn me, send me a message, and I'll before I go into the mamad, the
Uh,
bomb shelter.
Thanks. Oh, I do watch that, not often, but I watch the I think you've gotten really great at the letters, the
Hmm.
Hebrew letters. I love the Hebrew letters, the dancing, the videos.
Right.
And so I watch them sometimes.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see this. Not a wasted effort. Effort I spent hours and hours doing. Nobody watches. These are all going to be on the website as well. I'll see nobody's using the website, but I don't care. I'm putting on the website. Eventually, you'll have it for the rest of your life. So, until I don't have a website, but I have it as long as I have a website. I paid another year for my website, so Baruch Hashem, then you can still look at for another year all this information if you want. Another thing is probably, but this is just between you and me. Don't tell anybody. But on Wednesday, when I'm going to be organizing uh, a, a healing session with Maim Chaim retreats. So the moment I have it organized, I will send you a letter. Don't tell anybody yet because it's not official, but I'm just warning you that, that I'm working on a healing sessions with other teachers, and I'm going to be doing that a lot to help bring healing to women these days. They need it so much. And we need, as you all said, it gives you calmness, it gives you, strength, it gives you, hope. That's what my work is to help women center themselves, to be calm, to feel that we don't have to be reactive, that we have tools in order to be calm. and centered and with deepen our emunah and strengthen our emunah. So that's so keep tuned. I'll send you a WhatsApp and email. So with the next day or two, I'll send you. I'm working on it now. Okay. So Adina, how is it in Toronto?
It's okay. It's 47 degrees today, so it's very hot. But in terms of everything, it's a bit of a mess.
Bit of a mess. You have a terrible, sorry, Prime Minister now. It's absolutely.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really bad. He just put out a statement that Iran and Israel and the US should de-escalate and yeah, unfortunately, Pierre Poilievre put out a really positive statement, as he always does, supporting Israel and the Jewish community here. It's unfortunate that he wasn't elected,
No,
but
no.
it
I
is.
just wanted to tell you, my cousin who's from Montreal is now in Israel for a month and a half. She was helping her sister-in-law move into assisted living. So what happened was she got stuck here. So last week she phoned the global affairs of Canadian government. What did they say? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that you're in Israel now. There's nothing we can do. We just gave $250 million to Gaza, and you'll just go to the Israeli government and they'll take care of you.
What?
That was the answer of the Canadian government to a Canadian stranded in somewhere in Israel.
Oh
Sorry,
my
it's your own fault you're in Israel. Sorry. We can't do
Oh, that's
anything.
terrible.
Isn't that awful? She
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
mad. She was so mad.
Oh,
She made a new flight July 2nd. I hope she can get home, but we never know. But the Americans are helping the Americans slow. I mean,
yeah.
right now, today, everything's closed. But eventually it'll open up again. But I'm just saying, what a horrible feeling. I'm never coming to Canada again. I'm not finished. I'm not Canadian. I'm not Canadian.
Yeah, it's not yeah, it's they're not willing to help. It's really bad.
Nachon, nachon. I was just wanted to share with you that it really is bad government. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was the bad. Ein Tova is there's so many beautiful people in Canada that want to help, and they just, we have to say that's the way it is. Ein Tova to
Yes.
the good people in that are in Canada and support Israel. Baruch
Yeah.
Hashem. So you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll be sending you in a few minutes the whole everything. And next week we'll probably be in Zoom too. So what can you do? That's just
Oh,
the
don't
way it is.
say that. Don't say that. I want to be in
Probably.
person.
I
I
know
hope
you do,
not.
sweetie. I hope not, but I'm not. Don't count on it. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thank
week,
you.
Hope
and
everybody sleeps
Lila
well.
Tov.
have a
Bye,
sleep.
Dina.
Lila Tov.
Bye.
Lila
Bye,
Tov.
Bye. Take
And
everybody.
see you.
care.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye.